Welcome to today's video. Make sure you visit podcastformarketers.com for more information. Over there, I have a really kick-ass course on how you can make at least a few grand a month on simple reoccurring revenue, right? And that's called Freedom Funnels. And make sure that you like this video and subscribe to my channel, man. I'm put out videos every day, so you don't want to miss what I put up because I put out some pretty kick-ass content. And man, I always want you guys to comment below, man. I absolutely love all the comments you guys bring. Let me know what you're thinking. If you have any questions, I'm always in the comment section. I really love the community. Let's get into the video. All right, guys, today we're going to be talking about success. All right. And the video, you get what it's just 3 keys to success, right? And, you know, I know that you're going to be getting a lot of guys that'll be, well, Sonny, we haven't seen your Lambos and hoes, right? And that's not what success is, right? So, you know, my wife said something real slick the other day. Because somebody in the group, you know, had said, and he actually kind of corrected himself, but he was like, you know, if it's good enough for Grant Cardone or if it's good enough for Mr. Pena, then it's good enough for me. And I said, you know, I hold myself to a higher standard than most, so I don't say that, you know, what's good enough for them, like they're better than me, right? No one's better than me, and how would you measure that? And what did you say? Don't measure myself with their measuring stick? Yeah, don't measure yourself with someone else's measuring stick. And it's true. How you measure success looks way different than the way I measure it, right? So to you, and I've asked people in my group, you know, what is your number? What is your number as far as monetary value goes? As far as, you know, how much money would you like to have? And I got numbers from anything from like, I'm just trying to make an extra $500 a month to, you know, I want to make $10,000 a month, right? Well, you know what my number is? My number is $1 million a month. Okay? Right? And to be honest with you, eventually it's going to be $10 million a month. All right? So I think huge, but that's not what makes me successful. And that's what I want to talk about. The 3 keys to success, right? And lately, I've really kind of made some change. I've leveled up, right? I've always been successful, right? But as far as in business goes, I want to talk about business right now. As far as in business goes, I've always been successful with business. Of course, I've had my flops, but I mean, for the most part, we're going to talk about a majority of the time when I start a business, I see some type of success, right? And it's always been these 3 things, right? One of them that I kind of left out most of the time, okay? So the first key to business or your success in business, because we're going to talk about business here, right? So your first key is going to be commitment, right? You need to commit, and I'm going to show you how to train yourself how to do that, right? And I never realized I was doing it myself until, I don't know, actually like a month ago, okay? The second thing is you need goals, okay? And an extension of that, which is something that I needed to get better on, but I'm like a beast at it right now, is you need to write down your goals. Cliche is cliche for a reason. I put that on one of my posts. Cliche is cliche for a reason. Don't discount it. I was listening to Bob Proctor, and he says, there's a reason why people tell you to write your goals down and why everybody tells you to write them down. It's because they're right. Right? It's just, if everybody tells you to do it, there has to be something to it, right? But it's more than just writing your goals down. But the third key is the most important key of all, right? Once you unlock yourself and give yourself a commitment, mine is if you've ever looked at the motto to the Raiders, right? When I grew up, the Raiders were in Los Angeles. Okay. Then they became the Oakland Raiders, and then they went somewhere else, and I think they're back now, right? But their motto is a commitment to excellence, right? Don't be fucking mediocre. All right. So now the next key is action. This is the most important key, and it comes in this order, right? It comes just like this. First, you have to commit to yourself. I'm gaming you up here, man. You know, a lot of people are not going to like this video. A lot of people want to know, how can I click buttons to make $1,000 on the internet, right? This is where it starts. I don't like giving incomplete courses, right? I could actually say, look, you know what? I'll just throw this in a course or something like that, right? And I will. From now on, this is going to be the number one thing in any of my courses. Because if you don't do this, my courses are shit. Everybody's courses are garbage if you don't do this, okay? The next thing is you have to take action, right? Daily. That's important, okay? So you have to make a commitment to yourself that this is what I'm going to do every day, day in and day out. It's a huge commitment, right? The other day, I bought a journal, and I've never written in a journal before in my life. I've never had to do it before. I actually did a course by Jim Rohn on how to write in a journal, and it was a good course because I'm writing my ass off now, right? But before I did that, I got really quiet because that's a huge commitment, man. This is huge. To tell yourself that you're going to do something every day for the rest of your life. That's how I think. If I'm going to start something and I'm going to be there and I'm going to do that, then I'm not going to stop, ever. It's like these YouTube videos. I will never stop. I don't care if you guys like them, don't like them, or whatever. They'll be here when you want them, right? I'm never going to stop, ever, until I can't anymore, and that's it. So in 20 years, there'll be 50,000 fucking videos on YouTube right here. You can bet your bottom dollar on that, right? So now, commit to yourself. Like, well, Sonny, how did you commit to doing a YouTube video every day? Because I love doing it. It's easy, right? But writing in a journal, is that easy? And the way Jim Rome says, you have to tell you be honest about your feelings. You got to look on the page and say, you know, I don't like how I look right now. You know what I mean? And, you know, I feel like shit, or I'm sad today because of this or whatever. You got to write those feelings down and then actually go and look at yourself, because you can't lie to yourself, right? You have to look at yourself and look at it and go, okay, that's bullshit. If you don't like the way you look, then you need to do something about it. And that's when goals come in. Then you have to write that goal down. Once you commit to yourself, right? And the writing in the journal is a beast, by the way. But you look at yourself and you do stock of yourself. You can turn that around for me. And then you look at yourself and you see things that you don't like. Years ago, a friend of mine, I told him I was taking a day off from the gym. And he says, look in the mirror. He goes, no, seriously, get up and look in the mirror, right? So I got up and I looked in the mirror, and he says, what do you see? And I go, I see myself. He goes, do you like it? And I'm like, not yet. He goes, well, then there's no day off. You need to get back in the fucking gym. Jesus. So that's where your goals come in. So you look at yourself, you commit to yourself, and then you write those goals down and say, I want to lose weight, but that's not enough. We'll get back to that later, right? So then once you write your goals down, you have to take action on those goals. And that's the most important part, right? I've got a friend of mine. He talks about writing goals, and it's going to be 50 years. It's going to be 3-4 hours. He knows how to write goals. Oh, Zig Ziglar, you got to have those goals. I really like that DVD series from Zig Ziglar, right? My friend, he says he's going to write those goals down. He says, man, it could take you, 3 months to write down all your goals, man. I'm going to sit down in October and write down my goals. I know how to write them down. Right? But he never takes action on the fucking goals because he and I have some of the same aspirations, and he ain't making $1 million yet. He ain't even making, X amount of dollars yet. because you got to have those goals. You got to write them down, and then you got to take action, right? So a lot of you guys already know how to write your goals. You're perfect, right? I get it. You can beat it. Get off the video. I understand. Hey, congratulations. But for the guys now that want to understand how this shit kind of works, right? And this shit does work, folks, right? Breaking your goals down to daily, weekly, monthly, yearly, 2 years from now, 3 years from now is a beast, right? So I'm just going to tell you that I was listening to Bob Proctor, and he said that small, basically nick them till they bleed, right? I play dominoes with people. You know, you get that. If you ever play dominoes, you count by fives, right? And so whenever you put a 5 down on the domino table, you say nickel, right? And then, what I say when I do it is, well, if I nick you enough, you'll start to bleed, right? That's what I say when I put the dominoes down, right? So small successes, small work every day, right, will get you to a larger goal. It really busted my head open how he said this, right? So he has what he calls salesman A and salesman B. He said, these are my favorite salesmen, right? And so he says the goal is that they wanted to make 144 sales by the end of the year, right? So we know that that's automatically, you think, because he did it on purpose, automatically you think, I know I need 12 sales a month. By the end of the year, I'm going to have my sales, right? So salesman B says, hey, man, I'm a veteran salesman, I can knock out 144 sales, no problem, right? But he doesn't write them down. I don't need to write anything down. Shit, that's easy. Salesman A is a check, and she's like, hey, man, can I say check? Yeah, I can say check. All right, you can't say check, though. I can say it. All right, so Salesman A says, hey, man, I want to go ahead and write this down. I know I need to. That's 12, right? So I know I need to do 12 sales a month, right? So come January, boom, she hit her mark, right? And then come, February, boom, she hit her mark. So then, he says on this side, this guy's, sure enough, in January, he hit his mark. But the goal is so big, right, that he's thinking in his head like, damn, I still got 132 more to go. And that's a big number, right? But her number, she's going to keep checking along because she knows I only need 12. Every month, I only need 12. It's kind of incredible when you think about that, right? So it's just like, everybody says this. And here's the thing. Like, when you say, I want to make $1 million, and he said this too. He said there was a guy in the audience, and he says, there's no such thing as an unrealistic goal once you break the motherfucking goal down, right? So the guy in the audience, he said, was being kind of a pain in the ass. And he's like, just tell me how much money you want to make. So the guy was like, $80 billion. And he's like, all right, that's cool. So what do you want to do with the $80 billion? I'm going to buy the USA. He goes, well, wait a minute. Can you buy the United States of America for $80 billion? He goes, no. Well, then your goal is wrong. You need to get enough money to really buy the USA, right? So your shit's off. It's a fucked up goal. It's not going to work out for you, right? So, but basically, if you say to yourself, I want to make, let's just make it really easy. I want to make $30 a month, okay? So I want to make $30 per month. And you guys know I'm doing this. I just keeping it really simple, right? And that's just a month of 30. Somebody's going to say, Sunday Simple months could be 31 days. Well, then that month you'll make fucking $31, all right? Because we need to break that down to I need to make $1 a day, okay? Now, there's a bunch of ways that you can make $1 a day, but I can tell you right now that you can go to some website and they'll pay you something like 2 cents a word. And the way it works out is that if you write 1,000 words, basically you make $10, okay? So you need to make $1 a day. So that means you can go to this website and say, I want to write 1,000 words, which is pretty much an article, and I'll make $10 a day, right? But I'm only supposed to make one. So that means that if all your goal is to make $1 a day every 10 days, you need to go write an article. And that's it. It's done. So now you write that goal down. Every 10 days, I need to write an article, right? Now, how do you break that goal down even more, right? So you know you need to write 1,000-word article to make every 10 days to make $30. Now, here's what's really like awesome. So these dudes break it all the way down to micro commitments. So you want to have something to do every day, right? So somebody give me some math here. I need some math. Somebody give me some math here. You need to break down 1,000 divided by 30, right? So as soon as we get that math, we're going to get that math. 33. Right. So it's a 33, right? So that means that every day you're going to write down in this article, you're going to write at least 33 words every day in your article, right? So you know that even if they're just like little paragraphs and you have them lined up, you're going to write out in each one 33 words a day to get to your 1,000 words per whatever, right? Actually, this will be towards your 10 days. So every day you write, so you need to do that divided by 10. That's 100 words. My bad. So that's easy enough. There you go. 100 words per day equals 1,000 words for every 10 days. That's what you need to do every day to make $30 a month. Now that's some like what? That's crazy when you think about that. You need to make $30 a month. You need to make 100. You need to write something for 100 words per day, right? So now you say, Sonny, I want $300 a month. All right, then just add a zero. And that's it, right? Well, Sonny, I want to make 3,000. Well, add another zero. Right? That's, and you can't say it's unrealistic. Just do it. Right? Sit down and write the words out. But I like how you break that down to say, okay, I need to write 100 words today. 100 words per day sounds better than even 1,000 sitting at one time. Right? 1,000 words, you're like, fuck, what am I going to write? But at 100 words today, you can outline your shit, right? And that's your goals. So you wrote out a monthly goal. Right? You broke it down to a weekly goal, down to what you're going to do daily. Now, the key is, and this is what they say, to do this in every part of your life. So your health, right? The three big niches, the wealth, and relationships, right? To give an example, I told myself I've got 3 beautiful daughters, right? Grown-ass daughters. And so on the weekend, every weekend, I'm supposed to call one daughter a day. So on Friday is my weekend, Saturday and Sunday, I call one daughter a day. And every week I need to do that because I want to make sure I have a strong relationship with my children, right? And I need to call them more and talk to them more often. Wealth. Well, you guys know I'm working my ass off in all my niches, writing emails, doing email campaigns, writing email drips. Every day I have something to do, a podcast, a blog, ads, whatever that's on my list, right? And health, I work out every morning, right? And so all of that adds up to your day. So now if you're $30 a month, that would be in wealth. So that's one of the things that you have to do that day is write out 100 words, okay? And then you need to make your phone calls, right, if that's what you do, and you need to work out, right? And then maybe you need to read and work on personal development, right? And then maybe you need to write more goals. So you need to journal and write every day. So that's what it starts to look like every day. So writing small little incremental successes every day is what's going to get you to where you got to go. And you can't do anything until you start doing that. Now, again, I'm going to point you. Now, I'm not some like woo-woo guru dude. So I'm not going to tell you to do all these affirmations. You know, I'm smart and I'm strong and I'm the best salesman ever. I'm not going to tell you to do that, right? Because it's just, I'm not. But this dude, this Hal Elrod dude, right? I believe this is how you spell his name. He has what he calls the miracle morning, right? And what that is are just micro commitments. You kind of trick yourself into starting good habits, right? So what he tells you to do is get up every morning, and even if it's just 1 minute a day, 1 minute, meditate. Pick one. Meditate, read, write in your journal, whatever. Just commit to yourself, and these are small micro commitments that you do every day, right? And all that does is just build up your success. The more success you have, the more confidence you have to keep doing other things because you know that you'll finish them, right? So it all starts with these writing down your goals daily, weekly, monthly. Denzel Washington said he writes down at least 3 or 4 goals a day. We already know he's successful in what he wants to do, right? Coffee break.